External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar has extended his appreciation for the United States' decision to designate TRF as a foreign terror organization. In a statement, the minister stated, and I quote, "A strong affirmation of India-U.S. counter-terrorism cooperation has now come to light. Appreciate Secretary of State Marco Rubio and the U.S. State Department for designating TRF, a Lashkar-e-Taiba proxy, as a foreign terrorist organization, especially designated global terrorist. It claimed responsibility for the April 22nd Pahalgam attack. Zero tolerance for terrorism." The minister also made a mention to Operation Sindoor as he hailed the counter-terror move. In fact, Major General Sudhakarji is still with us on the broadcast. And sir, I want to understand from you, in your assessment, do you think India has been a pioneer in shaping global counter-terrorism efforts, advocating for a unified approach to combat terrorism worldwide? What's your assessment, sir?
Yeah, Sabri, a very brilliant question you have asked. There is no doubt in this, no doubt. Why only counter-terrorism? There are a host of other issues. You talk about Solar Alliance, talk about the initiative that India has taken in the climate change, and also post-pandemic, we are the country who have provided vaccine free of cost to more than 111 countries.
Yes.
Although in open source it touches a figure of 100, but as per my count, it's more than 111, 115 countries. So, but coming to the counter-terrorism, I think India is playing a very lead role, and but it's not only a pioneer, it is right at the front line and taking the matter up in earnest to build a kind of a consensus world over. And so much so, this delegation which went, 7 delegations from special delegations post Operation Sindoor, 7th to 10th of May, when they visited the world over, important countries and the places of relevance, they have been able to communicate and they have been able to harness the opinion in favor of a common counter strategy against terrorists. So that is a very, I think, it's a huge benchmark which has been actually posted on the history of independent India, which earlier was not witnessed. And world over, everyone seems to be in agreement with India that terrorism has no place in this world. So trans-border terrorism should be adequately addressed, and that's how the doctrine of India has undergone change during Operation Sindoor. It is for the first time that our country has formulated a one-liner which says an act of terror will be an act of war against the nation, meaning the whole of nation is going to actually address it, and meaning that it is not going to be an act of deterrent on our part. The deterrence of deniability and deterrence of punishment may get escalated to such levels that the perpetrator, the organizer, the planner, the decider and the decision makers across the border may have to be held accountable. And there is not far wherein the kind of neutralization of these people, because they will be equated, we have started equating them as terrorists. Tomorrow, don't blame India if they are being neutralized like the way Israel has been neutralizing these people, some of the important leaders in Iran and the neighboring countries in the Middle East. Because that should be the thought process. That is the kind of offensive approach that India has to take and lead the country. Why am I saying this, Asawari? We need to be mindful of the fact that by and by there is a willing acceptance or legitimization of non-state actors coming to the center stage of the geopolitics and the governance of the world order. Talk about Afghanistan, the same Taliban, nobody was prepared to talk to them or shake hands or look at them. Now Taliban is gradually being accepted. Russia has accepted, and some Haqqani there was a bounty of almost 20 million or so that has been removed. America has already accepted him, and gradually many countries in the Europe are showing signs of accepting Taliban. So in the case of Syria, now here is a president of Syria who was earlier in Al-Qaeda and known for his ISIS activities, And now he's the president, and Syria, the non-state actors are in the center stage of governance. And why go that far? Look at Bangladesh, what is happening. And Pakistan is a living example. So Pakistan, just for the namesake, the civil government is there, but the military, entire military to my mind is radicalized and they're divided. I don't see any distinction between TRF or the Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaishankar and the Pakistan military that we talk of. Gone are the days when Pakistan military is to be rated as one of the outstanding and top-class professional army or the armed forces. I am sorry, I'm afraid they're doing nothing but businesses. They're running the cement factory, paper factory, they're doing hotel business, and they're busy in this. They are doing less of soldiering. To my horror and surprise, actually, that is not the job of professional armed forces supposed to do. Thank God they lasted for 4 days in Operation Sindoor.
Right.
I thought they would have been decimated within 2 days. Okay, so therefore, they need to introspect, they need to actually go deeper into the issue. And I'm glad that you have asked this question. And so much so that India needs to kickstart from this particular issue of Pakistan having orchestrated Pahalgam, not to deter India, but to hold or bring in some kind of stability in Pakistan, because I know for sure as to why Pahalgam was orchestrated. It was orchestrated to bind the people of Pakistan together. It was a fallen society. Army had no respect in the eyes and the minds and the hearts of the people of Pakistan. During Operation Sindoor, Air Force of Pakistan started asserting its dominance. They said it is because of them they had a victorious kind of a campaign against India.
Right.
So likewise, there are internal differences. So towards that end, India is doing a wonderful job. We have miles to go before we sleep. And I think we are in the right direction. We need to galvanize the global south, bring them together, have a unanimity and consensus as far as the counter-terrorism is concerned. Terrorism should be eliminated from the face of this planet. Sooner the better. Only then we can talk about liberal, rules-based international order in 21st century.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.